Hey guys, before I start this video, I gotta put a little disclaimer here. So if we look over here, when I normally make a video, I record with like a Shure SM7B into Pro Tools simultaneously, and I sync the audio up after. But as you can see, I recorded and enabled the track and failed to hit record. So it's pretty ironic. Probably could have used an assistant in this video, but you know, hey, you live and learn. What's up, nerds? My name is Cory Bergeron, and you are watching Cory Bergeron Recordings. In 2013, I graduated from the Music Industry Arts program here in Ottawa, Canada. Recently, I was asked to come back and talk to the current class about life after the program and how I was able to make a living in the music industry. It was an overall humbling experience, and I'd like to thank Brian Asselin for getting in touch with me and making the whole thing happen. I got to talk to two different classes, and a lot of the students had similar questions, so I decided to make this video. I've had a handful of students ask me in person as well as online if they can come and help me in some of my upcoming sessions, maybe be an assistant engineer or help out any way they could. Now, I've been in a similar situation to these students where you're in your final semester of the program and the next step is entering the real world. So I thought it would be interesting to create a video kind of talking a little bit about how to gain experience in the real world, how to use the skills that you've acquired going through school, and how to basically make the most out of your education and find work in the music industry. Quick side note, I work primarily with rock bands and I work primarily on alternative music, so everything I'm talking about comes from that perspective. Okay, so you're about to finish your audio program. Let me give you a general evaluation of where most people will be at. You have hopefully gained a strong technical foundation and have a thorough understanding of signal flow. With little guidance, you should be able to navigate your way through most professional studios. You have spent countless hours inside your DAW, whether it's Pro Tools, any other DAW, and you have a strong understanding of how it operates. On the other hand, you have minimal experience working with professional musicians in a real-world environment with real deal consequences, and you have a rather small portfolio of work to display your talents. Cool. Something that I've mentioned in previous videos and that I mentioned a lot is that there is no substitute for experience. So after taking the program, I believe your number one priority should be gaining valuable experience. The issue is you probably don't have the connections nor reputation to instantly fill up your schedule. You probably don't have an adequate place to record these musicians, and your resume will not speak for itself, and you probably won't have clients knocking at your door. It's a bit of a catch-22. You want to record bands so you can gain experience, but you need experience to convince bands that you should be the guy recording them. If you were to ask me what the fastest way to grow as a producer, engineer, or mixer is, I would say that assisting an experienced producer and watching them navigate through the production process would probably be the most effective way to learn. So how do you stand above the rest? How do you put yourself in a position to work with someone that has more experience and has built relationships over time with musicians, has returning clients, and yeah, has the clientele? Well, let me give you a few pointers, again, coming from my perspective. So number one, it's something that probably everyone agrees on, and it is you have to be likable. Studio sessions can be long, and studio sessions can be stressful. If you want me, or probably most other engineers, to hire you, you must be likable. Oftentimes when I'm working with a band, it isn't out of the ordinary to kind of create these lifelong relationships. You kind of become best friends with everyone in the room. When you're making a record, there is a lot to be said about the camaraderie that comes with starting a project, taking it from start to finish, and not only are you creating a product, you are building these relationships. So it is imperative that you are a good hang. If you're a weirdo, and by weirdo I mean that you are weirder than I am, or you're a punisher, or you don't have a sense of humor, you are an instant write-off. It may sound a little harsh, but you need to have an appropriate level of self-awareness and make sure that the band likes you and that you're not killing the vibe. Number two, you need to be invested in the project. I've hired people and I've worked with people in the past to assist on a project, and some people show up and they do a great job, and some people show up and it's kind of like I just invited them to hang out, where they pop in for a couple hours and then they go and leave, and they have plans with their girlfriend or something like that, or they have some sort of excuse, which basically tells me that they haven't made working on this project a priority. When I'm working on a project, I am all in. Life stops. If I'm hiring you to work on a project, I demand the same level of dedication. If you want your name on the credits of an album, you have to earn it just like everyone else. If an experienced engineer is giving you the opportunity to come in to their session working with their band, make sure that you make the most of the opportunity. This, straight up, is what separates the hobbyist from the professional. If you treat assisting on a session just like any other job where you just go in to clock your hours and get out, I probably will not hire you next time around. I can guarantee that there's someone out there that's hungrier, that wants it more, and will frankly just do a better job. Again, I'm not trying to be harsh, I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just trying to be real. So yeah, make sure that you're invested in the project, make sure that you care about it, put in everything you can, make the client happy, make me happy, make yourself happy, everyone's happy. You win. Number 3. This one's a little bit more of a technical thing, but to me, it's super valuable, so I'm going to talk about it. And that is, get good at the things that suck to do. What am I talking about? I'm talking about editing drums. I'm talking about tuning vocals. I'm talking about laying down drum samples. I'm talking about mix prepping, etc. All of these things have something in common, and that is that they take an unhealthy amount of time to get done. You can master these skills, but naturally the process of doing them takes time. I really wish that we could avoid doing these things, but they are a common thing that reoccur in every single session, and it's just part of the production process. Now, you know what makes me happy, and probably every other producer and engineer? When I'm working with a band, let's say I just recorded vocals for a track, I'm able to just give you a session on a USB, on a hard drive or whatever, you take your laptop and you start tuning those vocals. While you're doing that, I am simultaneously moving on to the next song and recording vocals for the next track. Now we are using our time effectively, the client's stoked, I'm stoked, everyone's stoked. If I'm hiring someone to do these tasks, I want to make sure that they can do an adequate job, and the reality is these tasks do not take a lifetime to master, or these skills don't take a lifetime to master. So I would recommend anyone starting out that wants to work on rock-based music, get good at editing drums, get good at tuning vocals, make sure you have the appropriate software to do those, make sure if I'm gonna hire you to mix prep something that you know how I like to have things organized, etc. Now, a quick side note, it's very common for busy producers, busy engineers to have people that they can rely on, that are accountable, that can do these tasks: editing drums, tuning vocals, mix prepping. So not only can you use those skills to help someone like me, you can help multiple engineers all at the same time, and that can be your easiest way to kind of get in and create good relationships, gain valuable skills, and ultimately make some money. In conclusion, if you're looking to assist another producer or engineer, or you're just looking to gain work within the industry when you're starting out right after school, I would recommend that you are likable, that you are invested and you are super dedicated on what you're working on, and you find ways to provide value to the producer as well as the client to assure that you are of value to them and they need you around. Again, if you do all these things, whether it's me or another producer, you are more than likely to impress, and it will get to the point where we need you in the room because we are relying on you as you are an integral part of the process. And from doing all this, you will gain valuable experience, you will gain album credits and connections. You'll get to know musicians, you'll be able to create relationships with them that could lead to other potential work. Okay, so this is basically the end of the video. So yeah, I hope that made sense. I haven't made a video in a little bit and I feel a little rusty, but I think I got the point across. Anyways, I hope you learned something in this video. If you did, please consider subscribing. My friend Logan is sitting across from me behind the camera, and he would really appreciate it if you did subscribe.
Guys, please, do it for me.
Be sure to drop a like on the video, as the almighty YouTube algorithm doesn't care about me, nor does it care about you as a person. It simply cares about the number of interactions on a video. So yeah, let's please the YouTube algorithm. If you agree, if you disagree, if you feel indifferent about anything that I talked about in the video, please go down to the comment section below, type in any random combination of letters and or numbers, and let me know that you really exist. Lastly, if you are feeling handsome or pretty, go down to the description below and join the audio production Facebook group that I've created. It is filled with like-minded individuals such as myself and people like you. Everyone in there is wildly successful, so you have nothing to gain but incredible knowledge and experience. And hey, isn't that what this video is about? Anyways, this is the end, so I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. My name is Cory Bergeron. Hey, what's good, dog?